Now we back. Y'all on Satara?
We live? All right. All right. Yo. What's poppin'? This is a special edition Saturday, and I'm back with one of my faves, Amazing Maze.
Amazing Maze, they used to call me at
I'm back with
Michigan
one of my
State
faves, Amazing
football.
Maze. All right. So, y'all see, I got my vote hoodie on because it's important. We got to vote. I need y'all to get out there and vote. So we're gonna talk about that. That's exactly what we're gonna talk about because it is important, like super important. This election is literally life or death. Do you agree?
In some way or another,
And
yeah,
it is
based on what's
literally
been going on.
based on what's been going on. This election is literally life or death. So it would behoove you to get out and vote. And it will behoove you to tell your children and anybody else who is of age that can come out and vote. It's really important for these younger people to make sure that they get out and they get the right information. So, us as parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and all of that, we need to do our due diligence in making sure that these young people know the reason why. We got to stop dropping the ball on our history and what happened to get us in these spots, in these positions where we can even do this because there was a time where we couldn't at all. As a matter of fact, women couldn't, black people couldn't. So it's a whole ball of confusion that happened in order to get us to this spot. And we need to make sure that we do our ancestors the justice and make them proud of us from what they fought for and what they died for in order for us to have. And so when we don't do that, then we're doing a disservice to all of our ancestors, all of the people before us that fought to get us in these positions to where we can do this, to make things equitable for us, not just equal, but equitable for us. And that is the reason why you all need to vote. And it's so important. And right now, with all the mess that's going on, all of these lies that's being uncovered, all of these things that have been going on and all of this time, it is so important to be knowledgeable when you go to the polls. Now, Mays has some facts and some figures and some things that's going on that he can share a little bit more with us about it. But there's also some things that we would like you to know as far as changing your vote if you voted early. And some of these things that come out and they got your mind wandering a little bit, and then you did some research on your own and you said, "Hey, I made a mistake. I should not have done this, or that, or I should not have voted for him and I should have voted for her." You can change your vote. Am I correct?
Well, anybody who voted absentee
Mm-hmm.
can go and say that they spoiled their ballot, sign an affidavit, and get a new ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Take me, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Absentee came, and I was showing it to so many people.
Yeah.
It might be at home, it might be in my car. I've lost it.
Yeah.
And so, under the laws of the state of Michigan, you can go to the clerk or you can surrender your ballot. That means if you have it and you want to vote at the polls, you can surrender it. But more to the point you're talking about, if a person, and I had a lady, she said, I voted Neely and now I want to change my vote to Weaver.
Yeah.
And she went down to City Hall and they had her sign where she had spoiled her ballot.
Yeah.
And then she signed the affidavit. They issued her a new ballot and she was able to vote again. If you voted for a Republican and you meant to vote Democrat, then you can go say, I spoiled or messed up my ballot and I want to now fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And they can issue a new ballot. If you voted for two people in the same category and you wanted to fix it, you can say, I spoiled my ballot,
Mm-hmm.
sign the proper documentation, and they can issue you another absentee ballot.
Yeah.
So anybody who feels uncomfortable or lost their ballot or whatever, you still have the right until the time that the polls close at 8 o'clock on Tuesday to go and fix or correct anything you want to with your ballot.
Well, I'm glad that we got that we're getting that out there because yesterday after the council meeting, which I was there, only the special meeting,
I seen
yeah, there was only three people there,
three
which
council
three
members.
council members there, excuse me, yourself, um, Jerry Winfrey Carter, and Tanya Burns. Everyone else was a no-show.
You think that was intentional or on purpose? Or
Absolutely, I do.
how many out of the
Absolutely.
six who wasn't there you think it was intentional? Three,
Every
four,
last one
five,
of them,
six.
all six.
You don't think one or two of them had a legitimate excuse?
No, not at all. No. See,
It was a hot topic.
it was a hot topic. And the reason I say that is because it was a hot topic, it happened before the meeting prior to, right? When it was on the agenda.
And people got up and left.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so I wholeheartedly believe that it was orchestrated to go that way.
Well, I think they miscalculated this one because they knew in the meeting where they got up and left, that's called breaking a quorum. And the meeting was over. We couldn't proceed.
Mm-hmm.
They got up and left, and it broke the quorum, and the meeting was adjourned for lack of a quorum. You didn't have
Yep.
5 people there. But in this one, under the charter, if you post a meeting 24 hours or more ahead of time, and 3 showed up, you can still proceed with the meeting, but you can't vote and take action. So I think whoever manipulated this mysterious absence, they were new council people. Some of them didn't know the charter, and they didn't know we was going to proceed with the meeting, whether they were there or not.
Yeah.
And we did just that.
And you know, that is one of the things that stands out to me as it relates to them sitting on the council early, because you would refer to them as infants in this stage, right? And this just really shows their infancy even more. So all of the times that you were saying they were infants and they were new and all of these
And
things
they're learning.
and they're learning, it it gave it gave even more of an eye-opening experience to see that, because all of these things that keep happening, um every meeting after meeting after meeting, it just shows their infancy, right? And not
Their
knowing
lack of knowledge
lack of
and
knowledge, understanding of the charter and everything else, right?
It takes time to learn.
It's because it's a lot.
It's
It's not something that you could just you can cram for and just be ready for. It's not like one of your exams that you can cram for, right? You can't take cliff.
Over the years,
Absolutely.
over the months.
You can't take cliff notes on it, right?
Kind of tough.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So that would be just as if, let's say for instance, I ran for council and I sat on the council board with you. I would be soaking up all of this knowledge that you have because you've been on there. What is it, 10 years?
And I could be dead tomorrow. I'm old. I'm old.
But the point is that when you have people in these positions that have been there and they're passing the baton and they're passing this knowledge down, that's when you got to soak it up, not deflect it and block it. And just because somebody else is telling you, or you mad because you don't agree with something, or whatever the case is, the reason why they were brought to the council and they're there in the council. Sometimes you have to accept those things. That's just like Ms. Inez Brown passing on the baton and passing things down. Then she has how many years? Over 25 years of experience doing that. Those are the things that you need to be soaking up from her because she grown. Because when she got up and got on down, she got up and got on down. So if you weren't readily taking in that knowledge when she was giving it, oh, you shit out of luck.
Yeah. Can you imagine if all 9 council people were new? It would be nobody to say this is how this should go and this is how that should go.
Yeah.
I've noticed these 6 new council people who seem to now be in the majority. I've seen 3, 4, 5 different things that they voted on wrongfully. And people don't even know it.
Yeah.
These $16 million that they transferred from the ARPA funds to the land bank. If you go back and look at that vote, um, it was improper because the meeting had been adjourned for lack of a quorum.
Yeah.
They came back and voted to remove me and to transfer that money and didn't repost and properly do the meeting.
Yeah.
I don't think nothing ever come out of it, but my point is when you have six new folks guessing at rules, guessing at law, it's problematic.
Well, let me tell you what my issue is. My issue is that they are so hell bent on learning the verbiage for decorum or um, lack of a quorum and all these things. Those little bitty things that they're just that's they're harping on, and they want to tweak that and understand that, and not understanding the real business at hand.
And what about common sense, common courtesy?
Listen, if
Do
sense
your
was common,
job.
we probably all have it, right? But now they got like, if you, yeah,
Well, I tell you, when
yeah,
you look at that meeting yesterday, this was a special meeting call,
hmm
and it was called and posted in our office or by our office
hmm
with Councilwoman Tanya Burns and myself.
yeah,
The charter says that at any day, any given time,
hmm
a council, two council members can call a meeting, a special meeting.
okay,
Um, I've heard one of the new council persons, Liddell Lewis, say she didn't sign up for special meetings. She said when she ran for office, she knew that we met twice a month. But what she didn't know was there's a number of times throughout the year where you're going to have special meetings. This special meeting was called because of the new information that had came out as it relates to the fire on Pulaski Street,
yeah,
where two children had died
yeah,
based upon what we're calling false firefighters reports. And
and negligence in doing their
yeah,
job.
they said they had went in and searched the whole house and then come to find out that they didn't. And the chief asked that they be terminated. Well, we found out yesterday that this stuff now has been turned over to the prosecutor's office for criminal investigation and maybe now even to the state police. And so we called a special meeting because we had voted, five council persons had voted in order to enact a independent investigation.
Yeah,
We knew 2, 3 weeks ago or more that some was very fishy.
hmm
And when Miss Cooper, the children's mother, came before the council and requested our help, I can't speak for no other council person, but I felt incumbent to pay that attention. And then when I seen this video from somebody out of Atlanta,
hmm
his name was Rashad Ritchie,
hmm
and he called me out. I don't know him from Adam to get involved and see what happened with these children and do what I can. We called a special meeting, and 6 out of 9 didn't show up.
hmm
I believe 3 or 4 of them, particularly, didn't show up and boycotted that meeting for political purposes because of the upcoming election Tuesday. Shame on them. Shame, shame, shame. We proceeded and took care of the business anyway.
Well, how embarrassing as a city and as a resident of the city is it for us to even be in the spotlight for this? And I said this earlier, when we were on earlier, and I said this, it's so embarrassing that and shameful that Flint is in the spotlight, and every time we're in the spotlight, it's because of 8.5 years of being in a water crisis and all of this gross negligence that's coming on. We should not be in the spotlight all over the world because 2 children died because the people that we have in place are not doing their jobs, and our leadership is not holding them accountable.
Well, when you say leadership, it seems to be plural. In this case, it was one
One,
individual Mr. Neely,
Yes.
who reversed the order of the chief of police not to terminate these people for filing false reports that the house had nobody in it.
Yeah.
Two white firefighters, and then the black firefighters went in
Yeah.
and found the children within 6 minutes of them reporting it was all clear. That's why he made the decision, in my opinion. The two white firefighters, two black children. He wanted to keep that spotlight off until after the election. Shame on him.
Shame.
One of the white firefighters was a union official.
And it was
And
he the one that was allowed to resign?
I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I think so.
Okay.
But he had the union endorsement, and he was trying to make it through the election without rocking the boat on a black and white issue and a union issue. And shame on Mr. Neely for that. The fire chief was put in an awkward position because he didn't know who had overrode his decision to terminate those people for their negligence, as you call it, and false reports. Some people call it gross negligence. So the attorneys for Miss Cooper and the children came to Flint yesterday. One is from Atlanta, Attorney Kenner, and the other one, Todd Flood. Todd Flood was one of the chief prosecutors in the criminal aspect of the water litigation, criminal proceedings.
Yeah.
And so now people's getting nervous. We're 2-3 days away from the election. This extreme news has hit against Mr. Neely and the allegations. And, you know, when some people use the analogy, if you rob a bank and you get away driving the car, you just as guilty sometimes as the people rob the bank. So people don't want these criminal investigations and stuff to clear up in 3 days, and they won't. But we already know, some of us already know, that there's only one person who could have interfered with that, and that was Mr. Neely. And some people say that his words was, it'll be political suicide in my election if I let this unfold and come out before Tuesday.
And now one of said firefighters had was allowed to speak with the press, um, to say that Chief Barton lied in his report.
Yeah, look what you got. You got one of the firefighters who didn't do the thorough search, allegedly, saying that the chief lied, that he didn't do the thorough research of the house. Now, common sense should prevail.
Well, he can only say what's in the report, right?
If two white firefighters went into the house in the black community and half looked around and didn't find the kids or the children, and then two black firefighters go in and happen to go in one of the bedrooms and find two children,
Both of the children.
who do you believe is telling the truth? The white firefighters who said it was all clear and nobody was in there? The two black firefighters who brought real children out
of the house?
And then Chief Barton saying, I'm going to fire these two
because
white
this is what was in the report.
It seemed like they lied about doing the third. So I don't care if he went this morning to Channel 12 saying the chief lied. You look at the facts.
That's right.
The facts ain't going to lie. It was somebody in that house.
And seeing two black firefighters bring out two children, two unconscious children, is a fact.
One was laying right at the door of the bedroom.
And they said you would have to have stepped over this child to even get in the room.
The other one was on the bed.
On the bed.
And so, who do you believe? The firefighter who's saying Chief Barton was lying, or who do you believe? The black firefighters who brought the two children out, or do you believe the two white firefighters who said all clear, nobody in there, we checked every room?
For me, you have to go with fact every time. And let's be clear, this is not the first of many hidden little cover-ups and scandals that's been coming out for I don't know how long.
Not
This
in the
just
last 3 years.
absolutely not in the last
Not
3 years.
under Mr.
This
Neely.
this just happens to be very
One that's
big.
coming out right before the election that
Absolutely.
they don't want to come out.
Absolutely. And this just happens to be one that he couldn't keep shoved up under the rug.
Why? Who is in control of the truth? The devil or the Lord?
Oh, we got Kevin Tay on, y'all. Wait, what's your question, Kev?
I said, did Neely give the firefighters the key to the city too?
Well, let me say this. He named one of the fire stations after Mr. Joe Davis, who was a black firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his claim to fame. Now, he did do that.
Mm-hmm.
So in your question, a lot of the stuff that he's done has been ceremonial. Naming the fire station after Joe Davis, putting up a statue of McCree. But what we're looking at now is policy. I don't care if you name a fire station after Joe Davis. What I care about if you override the chief's decision to fire 2 white firefighters who left them boys in there to die.
It's smoke and mirrors.
Had they did what they were supposed to do, them 2 children might very well be alive. So that's what we've been saying to the public. Quit falling for what you say, the smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
Naming a fire station after somebody black, putting up a statue. What we need you to do is to discipline these white folks, whether they're in the police department, fire department, and they ain't doing our investigations
Absolutely.
properly and leaving black folks to die.
And for all you that don't understand smoke and mirrors, what I'm saying is this, is that you have all of this corruption that's going on. And so to pull the wool over your eyes or to make it, or to, he's treating y'all like ferrets. Y'all don't know the maneuvers of a ferret. Ferrets like things shiny. So it doesn't matter if you have food over there for them and you can lay out a whole spread that you know they would love. They like shiny things. So if you take a ball of aluminum foil and throw it over in the corner, he'll damn near die for not eating his food because he going to something shiny. And that's exactly how Sheldon Neely is making the city of Flint look. He's making you all look like ferrets by throwing a ball of aluminum foil over there and everybody's chasing it and not looking at the things that the meat right here.
What did Rashid Ritchie say? He made it plain. He said he planned the residents of the city of Flint. Who do we think we are?
Boo Boo the Fool. Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting to see some indictments come out. You know, he said he talked about what Mayor, Karen Weaver did. Look what he's doing.
They won't come up.
Bid rigging and everything.
They won't come up before Tuesday, though. They won't come up before Tuesday.
And that's the importance of having these shows. And that's the importance of sitting here and discussing these and bringing out the facts so that you all can see them. Because if you turn to ABC 12 and all that, you're not going to see it. You'll never know about it. That's just like all this information coming up about these children. You've seen it here. You've seen it with AC Dumas. You've seen it with Winters Hall. You've seen it with Art Woodson. You haven't seen that with anybody else. But now they're being called out and they want to slowly kind of trickle it in. But shit, when did this happen?
I think around
Memorial Day? Yeah, May.
And so we've had to push to get this story out
Absolutely.
as it relates to the children.
Yeah.
This morning when I woke up, ABC 12 added, I'm going to call it a deflection. They said that somebody on social media was threatening the life of Mr. Neely. Now, that might be true and it might not. But, when you lose a life, or you actually get beat up or something really happens, it don't make the news. But here we got I'm going to say a mere threat on social media, and it's running across the screen. So that's what kind of kills me.
Where's the police report in that? We haven't seen that. But all these other threats, we have police report. You had a police report of a real fact that happened to you when you got beat up, right? Winters has some police reports. She has dozens of them from the threats that she's had.
The mainstream media is trying to dictate our election.
threatening people. They trying to take people to court. They trying to, harass. I got a bunch of different inboxes that I could actually post that show that that says, Sheldon is his cousin. But you make threats. You make threats and you can't cash them. Instead of Neely doing it because he know he can't do it, he's saying his peons out. Why do Neely have all of these people that just came home from prison up under him, but he don't have general population around him?
Well, I don't condone any violence. I got a zero tolerance in me, personally, a Councilman Mays. I got a zero tolerance for threats, and I got a zero tolerance for physical violence toward any citizen. But the problem I have is how the media and the prosecutors and police take certain threats and physical violence more seriously than they do against me, you, and John Doe citizens.
Well, let me tell you what I have an issue with. I have an issue with it being a bigger issue of a dog getting shot on a social media page, and all hell broke loose. I mean, everybody came out about a dog being shot, but didn't care about that woman that had gotten beat up, and he shot her dog. So we made a big ass fuss about her dog, but a life doesn't matter. 2 children's life doesn't matter. And let's be clear. I don't want to skip on the fact that another young man lost his life in negligence that's being allegedly covered up too from an alleged police chase. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. So I'm not forgetting about any of these families. None of them. And to be clear, and let's go a little further, we had another fire yet today where 2 children, two or 3 children, I don't know what ended up coming out to be that lost their lives in a fire.
Where was that?
They said several people, and that was at Evergreen Regency in Eva Worthen's ward.
That was this morning.
Yep.
This morning, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I believe I first saw it. It was probably around 4 this morning. And
4 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, and then at 7 o'clock this morning, I see more and more coming out. So let's be clear, there's a whole lot of things that's going on that a whole lot of people are trying to sweep under the rug because of election. And if we continue to be those pansies and not even look at that and factor those in when we are casting our vote, then we're doing ourselves a disservice, and we're gonna continue to see this city crumble.
If you listen to that foolishness, that if you listen,
come out there and say, hey, they didn't have no working smoke detectors. Those departments been on fire several times, and they supposed to be hardwired to buy coal. But yeah, nobody saying nothing.
Well, if you listen to the rhetoric, if
babies not having, no working smoke detector.
they wouldn't have needed smoke detectors. They wouldn't have needed smoke detectors if the first firefighters on the scene had checked every room and brought them out 6 minutes early. They might be living. Had nothing to do with smoke detectors at this time.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
But my position is this: why do people listen to the rhetoric? I'm doing a fantastic job. I put a statue up. I'm doing a fantastic job. I named the fire station after Joe Davis. I'm doing a fantastic job. The fact of the matter is you're not. If people can believe what people say, I'm doing a fantastic job. I'm very educated. I got my degree from Saginaw Valley.
Yeah.
If people believe this rhetoric, these half-truths and sometimes outright lies, I mean, what can we do? People don't know who to believe. Do they believe me, you, and what this gentleman say? Or do they believe somebody sitting in an elected seat saying we're doing a fantastic job?
Why don't we do our research? See, that's the thing. I don't have to believe you if I go and I look at it. I don't have to believe you if I do my part and know what's going on and I look at it. I don't have to believe you, because what you tell me about what can happen at council and what can't happen at council, I can look that up and it's hard fact. You understand? So my thing is that that's my point. That's exactly my point. I don't have to continue to listen to people if I do my part in my job. And as me being a citizen of Flint and you working for me, because at the end of the day, y'all work for the city of Flint. That's our job to make sure that you're doing your job.
Have good character. We're hired to be honest. We're hired to tell the truth. Sometimes it takes a few weeks, a few months maybe 2, 3 years to learn out who's telling you the truth
Yeah.
and who's not. By now, we should know fact from fiction.
But why are we
sometimes
so
we don't
why are
know.
we so afraid to hold somebody accountable? Because I'm telling you right now, when I see him, I'm not afraid to say something to him. I have. Probably why he don't speak to me right now. Because I seen him before and I said something to him as it relates to the city. He didn't want to talk about it. What more you want to talk about it? Never gave a call back, never anything. That's fine. I know there are a few people that I have called and had questions, and they have called me back and they have talked to me, put me in the right direction. And then I'll go even a little bit further and say, even you to even show me where it's at. Right? It's not one of those things. We gotta stop being lazy. We gotta stop being punk ass citizens and do our fucking job. We supposed to just live here and not do nothing and just expect for it to come to us? You don't go to work and sit on your ass and go to sleep and they pay you. No, if I pay you to do a service, then damn it, you do it. Listen, where I work at, if I pay you to connect the airbag and you don't connect it, then I'm putting you on notice and I'm writing your ass up. Why? Because you didn't do a job that I paid you to do. If it's in that's in the verbiage in your work standards that I pay you to do that job. If I pay you to do it and you don't do it, then that's your ass, right? And that's exactly the way that we should be treating.
Except for the only recourse we got is not a write-up. It's giving you a vote one way or another.
Absolutely.
You know?
Or even recalling.
Yeah, well, we got an election too.
Absolutely.
Recall is a little tougher than an election in some cases.
Understood.
So we got a choice coming up.
But we have a choice. And we have to
vote
make
for
an
this
educated
person or you
decision.
don't vote for this person.
And we have to make an educated decision. And that's my point. We can't continue to listen to the rhetoric. Listen, I wouldn't tell anybody anything that I couldn't go and factually back up. Now, I have an opinion, and I will tell you, well, in my opinion, well, this is just me. I'll say that. It's my opinion. My opinion is my opinion, but a fact is a fact, and ain't shit I can do about it. That's my point. And if we continue to be suckers, we gonna keep getting sucker shit. We gotta do better.
Boo boo the fools.
I'm telling you.
It's kind of interesting because when you look at the facts of this Pulaski Street incident, 2 white firefighters went in.
Yeah.
They said they checked every room, nobody was in there. There was some dogs in the basement.
Yeah.
But now check this out. The 2 black firefighters go in 6 minutes later. They quickly carry out the children.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the facts that you talk about.
Yeah.
Only one person can override the chief of police
Just
decision to terminate the white firefighters, Mr. Neely.
Right.
And he did that.
He did that.
These are the facts. If people, like you say, don't look at the facts, shame on us and shame on them.
Absolutely.
This incident highlights what has been going on the past 3 years in a variety of instances.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens comes Tuesday. This should be an easy choice. You got 2 people left. You can vote for this one, you can vote for that one. I done worked with both of them. Mr. Neely and his administration and department heads has been problematic. His department heads is weak.
Mm-hmm.
He killing them. Weaver, we got stuff done. We got emergency managers out. We fixed a $12 million deficit. We had Jeff Bray and them and others doing pipes. We were in the national spotlight positively. And now folks covering up and doing wrongdoing. The choice for me is easy. I'm down there. People trusted me to be down there. I know who I'd rather work with on behalf of the people. I've had to pick up the phone and get stuff done for people. They call me, Councilman Mays, this, and this is happening. Councilman, can you make a call? And I know when some of my calls fall on deaf ears and when some stuff get done.
Yeah.
So I'm knowing it's going to be about, you got about 7,000-8,000 people that voted already early. I don't know how they voted.
Right.
I don't know if they want to keep their vote or change their vote, but about 7,000-8,000 people that voted. You got another 5,000-6,000-7,000 gonna go to the polls. The margin of victory ain't voted yet. Them 5, 6, 7,000 who's gonna go to the polls Tuesday, that's gonna be the margin of victory. I'm praying and hoping that they go in there, Weaver, Weaver, Weaver. They need to punish this man for his deception, his untruth, his dishonesty, his character. And that's on the mind for Tuesday on how we vote.
I wholeheartedly, this is my opinion, I wholeheartedly believe that if you are voting for him, either again or for the first time, it's like Mick is like Harry Kyrie. You committing suicide, you falling on the sword. It's like Harry Kyrie. And if you are one of those people that he is putting out there to put out this rhetoric and all this propaganda, you are definitely committing Harry Kyrie. Look it up, Harry Kyrie. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
If they vote for Nene, they might well go ahead and get ready to move. You know, there's a lot of people whining and crying right now, you know, why the rent's going up, why different things is going up, and they don't even understand that a lot of this is coming through Neely, you know, and it's making it harder for them.
Who is that speaking, Satara?
This is Kevin Tate.
Okay, I don't know if I know.
You seen him last night. I have to remind you who he was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the fire. There was
But
2 kids
just like,
died in the
you know,
vehicle.
just like Eric Mays, you know, a lot of people have a fit about Mays because the way he speak and the way he talk, but Mays get the truth out. If it wasn't for Mays, a lot of stuff would be swept up under the rug.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate Mays. Hey, I'm rough with it too. And some people just don't understand Mays, but I understand Mays. They don't know that man is smart. He's a paralegal. Like they gotta listen. If they don't listen, they put themselves in trouble. They jeopardize it.
Well,
You know, yes.
Mr. Tay, I'm kind of scary. I was brought up in the church. Reverend Roberts baptized me at Canaan, and my truthfulness come from being scared. They taught me if you lie and don't tell the truth, you're going to burn eternally in hell. You're going to go to the devil. I've been brought up to tell the truth, be honest, and the Lord blessed me with a brain. In elementary, I used to get all A's and 1B, junior high A's and 2B's in high school. So I can appreciate your compliment. But I mean, that's just what I'm thinking is natural life. You tell the truth.
Yeah. Well, I think
one thing about it, Mays have a lot of respect, and the reason why Mays have a lot of respect, Mays just don't look at, okay, I'm in first ward. Mays look at, I'm part of the city. I'm gonna help anybody and everybody I can.
And Kevin, I'm not even part of the city. And the very first time that I called his phone, he answered the phone for me, and he and I built a relationship, and I've been talking to him ever since. He has never not answered my call or returned my call. That's the one thing I appreciate about him, Tanya Burns, and with Jerry Winfrey Carter.
But I want to share something with you. They called me from across the city, Kevin. It's Kevin, right?
Yes.
And Satara. But the problem is I don't have the staff that a mayor has. I don't have the department heads. I can't pick up the phone and say street maintenance. I'm getting a call. Go do that.
Yeah.
I can't pick up the phone and order the police chief to send a car out.
Yeah.
A council person can represent, they can request, they can inquire, but on a day-to-day basis, the chief executive officer, the mayor, can order. And it's easier for people to get me on the phone, it seems like, than him. If I'm the mayor, I'm going to still keep my cell phone. I'm going to do missed calls. I'm going to see, I don't know what the volume is, but I can appreciate that. But, you know, I'm not equipped to take all of these calls from people across the city, but I figured out over 9-10 years how to take them. I'm proud to say I've helped people in more than the first ward. But really where I sat is problematic. And when I ask people, pay attention, vote this way, vote that way. This is the right person. This is the wrong person. I really do mean it because it helps them and it helps me. In this election, I'm voting Weaver. I work with both people.
Absolutely.
And I'm definitely looking forward to these recalls.
And the council, you're talking about in the council, don't get me started.
No, get you started. Go ahead, get started.
Kevin, right after this election is over, no matter who wins, I want recall language filed on Eva Worthing. I think she can be gone. I want recall language filed on Quincy Murphy
As it
and
should be.
Liddell Lewis.
As it should.
Those are the three that's going to initially be targeted. Now, I'm not overlooking Herkenroder, Presley, and Piper, but it's a step-by-step thing.
Understood.
The first step is get Weaver elected.
Mm-hmm.
If Neely wins, it's going to be problematic, but we'll still proceed with the council recalls.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to.
Yeah.
We absolutely need to.
No, there ain't no need to. It got to.
It has to happen. It has to happen.
Why do you
Absolutely.
say that, Mr. Kevin Tay?
Well, one, Liddell don't even live across the street from the park where she says she lives. That's a fact. It's not a ledge. It's definitely a fact. Eva Worthing, she don't come to no meetings, and when she do come, it's like they have to force her to come just to harass you and try to really, interfere with what you, the information you giving out, And I'm so glad Jerry Whippy Carter and them is really standing up for you. Every time you turn around, they're trying to throw you out, or
That's
they're
a
trying
blessing.
to point of order you out of everything, and it's ridiculous. I'm sick of it. I watch it every single
What's the
day.
problem with
I watch it.
Mr.
I
Quincy
watch
Murphy?
every day.
Kevin, he said, what's the problem with Quincy Murphy?
Quincy Murphy, he's just a total distraction. And I just found out that, not alleged, it's found out facts that Liddell and Quincy are actually related. And it's like they both in there. How did this man just go buy a new truck? He worked at Lear. He barely go to work at Lear. He barely go to work. Then all of a sudden, everybody trying to allocate this money over into, the grants, the grant pies, where Liddell is writing all the grants and giving everybody kickbacks.
That money, them ARPA funds, it's about 300-400 people put in requests. Some of that money should have already been disbursed to the residents of the city of Flint. And as long as I'm sitting there, I'm going to try to make sure it is disbursed. This election has a lot to do with disbursement of funds. I don't want the Community Foundation, the MAP Foundation, and the others controlling the disbursement of funds. This money came in over a year ago for residents. It came in for us to fix the police department and other things, and I'm going to fight like hell for it to do just that. This election has a lot to do with properly dispersing these funds as well.
Yeah. Well,
is there a way that it can be blocked where Liddell is not the grant writer? I'm writing these grants for these people because I keep on hearing that the money has to go into this grant pile.
Don't let Liddell or nobody else fool you. The only way, I'm going to say it 2 or 3 times, the only way that this money can be disbursed is with 5 or more council votes. Mr. Neely can disperse it. 1 council person can disperse it. It's 5 or more votes. If you put 300 to 400 people who have requested this money in council chambers and they spoke during public comment for 2-3 minutes and say, I put in a request and I want this money, council will be down there for 2 days listening to all them people. So sometimes the people, and we'll get to that, have to show up for themselves. You have to, we come out the civil rights movement. When you talk about disbursing money to fix your roof or to put windows on your house, them good windows and doors and things of that nature. If you got 300-400 people that signed up and we give the signal, come to the next council meeting. If 150 or 200 of them came, you got to get 5 council votes. So maybe we'll get to that point, but the most important thing right now, between now and Tuesday, is for us not to whine, for us not to keep telling these stories as to what's going on. And the most important thing we can do is vote.
Absolutely.
If you got 500 people, let's say it's 14,000 votes, but you got 500 who understand what we're saying. If they tell one person a piece, that's another 500, and that ain't but 500.
Yeah.
You win the election. We right at the verge of taking this city back
Right on the
and
precipice.
moving it properly. Everybody tell one person. You think I'm gonna take one person to the poll or get one person to vote? I can guarantee you. So that's where we at right now. The business at hand. Hey, Councilwoman Whispers Scott. The business at hand for right now. What's the day? Saturday,
Today is Saturday.
Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday. For the next 3 days, it ain't no secret. I wouldn't care if you pulled a Weaver sign up out somebody's yard. Stand at the poll, hold it up, and tell people who you know is a Weaver. Wouldn't that trip you out if people woke up and say, my yard sign gone?
Listen,
And
or if you
people
need one, let somebody
volunteer.
know. We think you.
Yeah, they'd have volunteered and then went to the polls to help. When
If
you
you
run
need
an
one.
election, you need help.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody win by themselves.
Get out there. They need it. If they live with a parent or whatever, they need the parent need to get them kids, go get them registered, and take them to vote.
Absolutely.
You know, we getting old. We older. You know. So
How old are you, Kevin Tay?
Kev, he said, how old are you?
I'm old, man.
He ain't 64, I bet you. He don't even sound like
He said you ain't
64.
64. You don't even sound 64.
You can be the first ward councilman, man. Come on,
He
give me
said
a
he
break.
said you could still be the first ward councilman.
No, I couldn't do a good job like that.
Well, you be all right. Yeah, look, you be all right, cause look, I bet you he younger than 64.
He younger than 64.
He ain't gonna tell it.
He ain't. Listen,
How old are you,
he won't
Kevin Tay?
actually. Ain't Kevin we the same age?
Yep.
He 45.
Man, I'll trade you. I'll trade you. You gonna be all right. Look at Jerry Winfrey Carter.
We got Jerry
Winfrey
Carter.
Come on, they got me back in between.
Oh Lord, don't you start. Don't you
I ain't saying
Well,
nothing.
you got some male representation.
Kevin
Don't worry.
Tay, you need to come work with these women. They is something else.
Man, and that one ass, Wani, whatever you want to call her,
That's some foolishness. That's some foolishness. Now, why would he get on social media trying to convince people he brought Lear to Flint?
Kevin Tay said he believed he got paid to do it.
I don't care what he got paid to do.
No, I believe
I'm telling you 100%, ain't no one person brought Lear to Flint. Ain't no one person had Ashley Capital invest $300 million into the Buick City project. Ain't no one person, except for the mayor, the last mayor, Weaver, was able to declare a wide emergency, but we all talked and met before she declared that. My point is, in the city of Flint, ain't no one person can do nothing.
Yeah, those are some large tables.
Yeah, one person can't rename a street in honor of Clarissa Shields.
Absolutely.
We had to vote on that.
Yeah.
So when you hear a person say, I did this, if they ain't say we and told you the details and gave everybody credit for their work, be leery of that person.
Absolutely.
He couldn't do a quarter of what Jerry Whitford Carter.
Absolutely not.
She like that.
Absolutely.
Hey, look,
Absolutely.
I worked with Juan Puez Davis on the council. I worked with Jerry Winfrey Carter. Juan Puez Davis have to listen sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
1 week, he's supporting this candidate. The next week, he with this candidate.
Yeah.
I went over, BB and them asked me to help him win. I helped him win, give him some information about absentees, how to do it. He did the work. But then the next month, he was with Scott Kincaid and them against me. You got to watch people. Loyalty and character means something in politics.
Yes, it does.
None of them get my support. And people need to know not to mark that ballot, straight Democrat. They need to sit down, read them names, and understand what they selected, just like the only Lakeisha on the ballot. that's a joke. You know why they not investigating why this John Cole that's a registered sex offender been at the schools and the parks and at people's houses and nearly or her has told people that he's a registered sex offender. I wonder why.
Now, thank you for saying that
Y'all
because
tell me what's happening. I don't know what's happening.
let me speak on that. So I'm gonna catch Maze up. So the people that's helping Neely, so the school board member,
One of the persons.
one of the persons. Well, one of the women that's running for the school board is Lakeisha Terrell, and Lakeisha Terrell has with her all the time Johnny Cole. Johnny Cole is a registered sex offender. Now and I don't have to say allegedly because this is public, and she's probably about to show you that he was knowingly infecting people with HIV. He has HIV and he was seeking younger people out and he was knowingly infecting them. And so he is a registered sex offender. He changed his name. That wasn't his name prior to, but he changed his name and this is who he is. So Lakeisha went on another show and said that she was talking to some people that were also felons, and she said, as a felon, you should be able to understand. Now, I think that's crazy as hell because I don't understand that. I can understand you trying to feed your family and you stole a loaf of bread. I can understand that.
I see who you talking about. I know who you talking about.
Uh-huh. I can understand that, but what I can't understand is that you knowingly have something that you have a disease that you can give to someone knowing that they can never get rid of it, and you knowingly spreading this, and then this is your spokesperson, and this is the person that you're speaking of, and this is the person that you're taking. Now you're running for the school board, and you're going to schools, and you're around children, and you're doing giveaways, and you have a registered sex offender with you doing that, but not telling anybody. I have a problem with that. And you think I'm gonna tell people to vote for you? Hell no.
Well, by me hearing and seeing it, you know, I would say when I was 28 years old, I was convicted of my first felony.
Yeah.
And then when I fell in love with Poochie and she changed them locks, and I came back from the casino after 3 days and kicked the door in, I caught my second
Now I understand Poochie changing the locks. Now you Poochie was sick of your shit.
But the first one was they broke in my house and gun charge. So I'm sympathetic to convicted felons.
Yeah.
That's my point. I'm sympathetic to convicted felons, people who made a mistake, but I'm not sympathetic if it's true that somebody knowingly had HIV or whatever and wasn't telling their partners.
That's my point.
Or whatever. I'm unsympathetic to people who hide the truth, hide their identity or whatever. And sometimes, even though she's a candidate, you can be guilty by association. You shouldn't, in some cases, be so desperate to get support. And I'm not saying she's desperate to get support, but that's what I see happening with certain candidates, whether it's Neely, whether it's her, whether it's me. I don't want certain folks around rubbing off on me because character, truthfulness, and honesty matters in politics.
Yeah, it all matters.
Yeah, so but I totally agree with you because it's not that I've never been around felons and I don't know felons, because I am sympathetic and I do believe that redemption is a thing. However, when you hide these things and you're not supposed to do that, and you're not, don't hide it from me. You can tell me, and I can be empathetic and sympathetic, but you can't hide it, right? And you can't, and then when it comes out, you can't make it a thing and try to sweep it under the rug like it's not a thing and it didn't happen. No, we can't do that. That is the issue that I have. I'm not saying that this man may have not been reformed. I don't know, but when you hide it, and it's not one of those things, then I can't say that you have, because you don't learn a lesson by hiding things.
When she showed me the picture, I'm going to tell you what happened. I was up at McCree Theater, where your dad, Charles Winfrey, McCree Theater.
Shout out to Charles Winfrey. That's my friend.
Doing the primary election. Now, y'all going to trip over this story, maybe. But we had a meet the candidate forum up there.
Yeah, you did.
You had to religious, campaign, and then you had the mayor's campaign. You had Neely, Weaver, and Mays supposed to show up. So I put my tie on. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Meet the candidates forum at McCree Theater. I'm in the big time. When I showed up, Weaver or Neely didn't, so I was the only one. I was glad. I got the whole mayor thing to myself. I met that guy. That's when I first kind of met this guy. And I met him, and guess what happened?
What?
I bet him a Halo burger with olives as to whether or not I would get more or less than 2,500 votes.
Damn it! I should have bet that.
Right, I bet this guy, yeah. And I said I'd get 2,500 or more. I got 1,100. He won the bet. Guess when I paid him off?
When?
Yesterday. I seen him in Dollar General and handed him $10. So when you showed me that picture and I see what y'all was talking about, y'all scared me. And so I'm like, ain't that a coincidence?
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
I know who you talking about. I didn't know. I know the Lakeisha lady because her daddy stayed next to me on Mackin Road. We called him Red. He died. So Flint is a small town. Once y'all hit me to what's happening, I know both of the people.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you my issue with this and why I had a problem. So last year, I was with BLM and we did an event. We did a Christmas event, and it happened to be on my actual birthday. I'll never forget it.
What's your birthday?
December 18th is coming up, so put it on your calendar.
I got too many birthdays and too many people Christmas. I'm going underground.
I study you and all of that. December 18th, I know something. Okay. So it was on my birthday, and we did an event. And we were doing Christmas for the children. Mickey, you remember this, right? And so, okay, I won't. And I met this gentleman through Claudia Perkins.
I think that's her son.
That's what she say. Listen, I don't know if it's her child or not, but that's what she was saying, and that's fine.
Well, you told me he was Claudia Perkins.
That's absolutely fine. Allegedly, he's not. Okay, well, or maybe he's one of those ones she adopted. I don't know. However, that's how I met him. And that wasn't brought out then. Remind you, we're doing an event for children. And they're coming up and they're getting children's bags. And we had volunteers, and he was one of them that we had working with children. They're running back and forth and they're doing things in this building. What if something would have happened and we did not know that? Do you know how bad that pissed me off when I heard that? And I'm readily letting him run around with these kids.
But now,
well, he already knows that he shouldn't be.
Absolutely, but shame on these folks for not telling us that we don't do that. And so shame on. And what I said was, and what I said was going forward. I said, why aren't we doing better investigation of these people before they doing? Before we're having volunteer.
Are we educated enough to understand how you contract and pass out HIV? Because look at Magic Johnson. We had a bunch of kids up at Northwest. And so I don't know.
No, but
he's not a sex offender. Right. That's not my point. I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me.
The sex offender
part.
Do you know the details?
The sex offender part. It was in the article that she had written up. Yeah.
Do it have something to do with kids?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then now I'm understanding. Remember, y'all just hipping me to this. I'm 64 years old.
Yes.
It takes me time to.
No, it don't. You sharp as a damn tack. I know you lie. You ain't dare gonna sit up here and tell me that lie. He is 64-year-old ass lie. He is sharp as a damn tack.
Jerry with me kind of laughing. Mitchie, you hear that verbal elder abuse?
You got to deal with it.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, Kevin. Say it again.
I'm wondering why Chris Swanson is not investigating this, but he got this ghost team and all this stuff going on, and yet he know Neely and Lakeisha had this guy around all of these people, and he's a sex offender. Why why wasn't he in the jail on a debate with John Ellen now? And he not even supposed to be around no inmates. Why? Like, it don't make no sense. It's too much cover up going on.
Y'all too heavy for me now. When I pulled up at Family Dollar yesterday, I seen this white truck. I think it was a Ford 150 that had them stickers, the magnets on the door, and it said Navy. I'm like, man, I gotta go in here and get some garbage bags. I was at the Family down on Pearson Road. I said, now here I done bucked in the Navy.
Yeah.
And so I didn't shy away from it. I went on in the Family Dollar. And so I asked the lady, I said, where the garbage bag? She pointed that way. And when she pointed that way, I seen that guy. I'm like, what a relief. It ain't nearly him, but it was him. And so I reached in my pocket, gave the $10 on the halo, and then I went on and checked out.
Now I'm gonna throw another little wrench in that for you about this guy. He was the guy, I don't know if you've seen the video, allegedly, he's the one that's been getting Dr. Weaver's signs and pulling them out the ground and taking them
in
that same truck.
In that same way. Boy, I thought they be doing way more than me. This social media is something.
Right. It is.
Yeah.
No,
so that's who was picking
Mick,
up.
you want to run a video?
I ain't never messed with nobody.
Yeah, running, because
Now that ain't cool.
No, that ain't cool.
I'm offended by that. I've been in politics for 10 years. I ain't never messed with nobody's signs.
This stuff is not cool.
Boy, hey, y'all. I'm sitting in the.
I got some other news for y'all.
Here they go.
At Claudia Perkins' house.
Say what?
That white truck be parked at Claudia Perkins' house.
And the big kind of, what they say, the plot kind of thickens. But I tell you what, so y'all hitting me left and right, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
As we go about our business. Well, I tell you what, it's been interesting talking about this white truck. It's been interesting hearing and seeing what's going on. So you got a video of that's the white truck that I had seen yesterday. And so now y'all telling me you got evidence that him pulling up.
You see the Neely on there.
The Weaver sign. Now that's one of them big signs, man. That ain't no good
he took
Weaver
up the
sign.
big sign?
Watch it. Yeah,
man, don't y'all fool around and make me go get a truck and start pulling up. I ain't never messed with nobody's sign in my political life. Why do they do that?
I don't know why they do that. So
he's one of the henchmen.
Yes. Yeah. One of them.
Y'all be knowing all kind of stuff. See, Flint ain't Chicago. Flint ain't.
But at the during the primary election,
a small town.
We're over at Bethel, right?
Who is that? Jamaica.
He jumps out of the car.
You know, I'm gonna say, hey, what's up? What's up, Jamaica? It's election time now. We turning the corner to the election. If everybody do just a little bit. All we got to do is a little bit and we win.
Take 3 people to the polls.
That's right.
One or two. Both of these elections been so close. You got 5, 6, 7,000 people voting for Weaver. You got 4, 5, 6, 7,000 wrongfully voting for Neely. But look, you got 20,000 who will vote if you ask them. We got to do like an army now. Everybody get one. I bet you, since I'm a councilman, I'm going to get 2.
Take 3.
Everybody
I'm
get
going to take 3.
I'm lazy. I'm going to probably get 1 or 2. If y'all get 1 or 2 and we activate, we win.
All right.
Come Tuesday, we win. It's going to be about, if we don't do nothing, it's going to be about 5,000-6,000 people go to the polls. It's about 7,000-8,000 of them voted absentee. If you add 6 and 8, what you got? 14,000.
That's right.
Remember the last race? Neely only beat her by 200 out of 14,000.
Yeah.
This is a November election.
We're going to try to stop any illegal press conferences this time.
You can't stop the illegal press conferences and you can't stop the lives. All we can do, I think that the vote gonna go higher than 14,000. I think it's gonna go up somewhere around 17, 18,000. And so I think
What we say, because we had a bet. What was our number?
yeah, we did an over and under.
Yeah, we did an over and under bet.
20,000 over and under.
You said
what
over and
did
under
you
20. Because we said
The
20
big,
and
I think
over.
we win this.
Oh, I know we
I
can
think
listen. As a
we
matter of fact,
win
we
this.
gonna win
Oh,
this.
we
Oh,
finna
we gonna
get-
win. Everybody take 3 people with you.
Everybody,
Think about cheap.
we finna try to win this.
Going around trying to get money.
About who?
Hey, Jamaica, I've been on
Oh, Lord.
2 shows
Boo.
today.
When they
What?
When they sent
Boo.
Man,
I'll see y'all later.
Hey, look, Jamaica. I know politics. Now
Uh-huh.
you see a lot of people just running around, nearly fantastic. I'm doing a fantastic. The minute Weaver win, some of them people gonna be to switch the next day. So let's get out there and work. Y'all vote Weaver, and Mo Weaver. Let's get to work. Let's help her. Nobody can win an election by themselves.
That's right.
In order to win an election, you need family,
Weaver
friends,
starts
and
with Weaver.
workers. So
That's
what
right.
you do, let's get out there on the polls. I don't care if election day you get a yard sign, hold it up. I don't care if you're on Pearson Road, Saginaw Street, go to the polls.
Let us
ask
know
them,
if you
"Can
need a
help?"
yard sign. Ain't that
show
right,
up
Jamaica?
and
Get
help.
one.
Show up and help on
That's right.
election day.
That's right.
All right.
All right.
We got lit. We got everything that y'all can have. Y'all make
Show
sure
up,
y'all
do
let
something.
us know. Let us know. We give it
Make
to you.
yourself productive. Help. You don't need no membership card. You don't need no ID to help.
That's right.
All you gotta do is show up at any poll, hold up a sign, ask people to vote Weaver.
That's right.
I done been in many elections.
Mhm.
It's lonely. You can't win by yourself.
Absolutely
Councilwoman Winfrey Carter. Can't we always use more help on election
Oh
day?
yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm
More help
telling
is
you,
needed on
show
election
up.
day.
There's gonna be people out there. I wouldn't care if you spend 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or 5 hours. The polls open from 7 in the morning to 8 at night.
That's right.
I'm usually out there, what's that, 11, 12, 13 hours. So I'm gonna be putting in about 10 or 12 hours.
Yeah,
I wouldn't care if you put in 1 hour, 2 hours. You're gonna see somebody you know,
you are.
and they're gonna listen to you. If you see somebody you know, I done seen it over and over. How you vote? Oh, I'm voting Weaver. Okay, I'm gonna vote Weaver because you said it. So let's show up.
That's right.
Y'all help me take this city back and
We
get
can
it
do it.
moving.
We can do it.
What's on the ballot? Character, honesty,
Integrity,
truthfulness, integrity,
All
the
of it.
ability to work.
compassion, a heart
All
for
of
the
that.
people.
All of that.
Yeah.
A heart for the people.
And fixing some of that mess on city council
right.
is on the ballot.
And don't forget, everybody, that you can change your ballot. You can change it. We talked about it at the top of the hour. So we're going to say it one more
A
time.
spoiled ballot.
Tell them about it.
If it's a spoiled ballot, you can say, I spoiled my ballot. They'll cancel the one and reissue another. You can spoil your ballot in a variety of ways. You can spill tomato juice on it. You can spoil it that way.
My dog ate it.
You can spoil it that way. You can vote for 2 people and then to vote for one.
Yeah.
You vote for this person and then to vote for that person. Now, this is true. I lost my absentee. I got to go fill out the same paperwork and get another one and vote it.
Yeah.
Unless I find it between now and Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but right now, I don't want people to shy away because they got an absentee ballot, lost it, don't know where it's at, threw it in the trash. You can fill out a paperwork, or affidavit is called, and get another ballot issued for a variety of reasons. Vote, vote, and vote.
6 of them come to my house that with other people's names on them.
You had 6 ballots come to your house with other people's name on it. You better call the police. Call the police. Call the clerk's office. Dial 810 766-7414. 766-7414. And the reason I said that, because if you handle or touch or fool around with somebody's absentee ballot that ain't a relative, or in this case, they're in your household, it could be a felony. So if you know somebody's came and they don't live there, I would call the clerk.
I called them and then I gave them to the mail carrier.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
One of them didn't have my name on it, did it?
He said one of them didn't have his name on it. He done lost his.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't yours. Okay.
So Kevin, tell you 40-something years old.
Yes, sir.
Man, when I was 40-something years old, I was in love.
Listen, that's what happened. That's why Poochie changed the locks. He was in love and he stayed out too long. He thought he could.
28. I was
He thought he could stay out and she'd be all right with
I
it.
was
She
at
was
the
sick of his
casino at MGM.
She was sick of
We
it.
had cell phones. All she had to do was call and see where I was at. You'd heard ching, ching, ching.
No.
I wasn't cheating.
Yeah, with the
You
lady.
think I would cheat?
With Lady Luck.
Yeah, well,
Lady Luck.
Lady Luck dumped me. That's why I stayed 3 days. This girl
Lady
shot
Luck.
in the tech. I said I wasn't cheating. She said with Lady Luck. She got away with words. I ain't gonna prove it.
You was cheating with Lady Luck.
Well,
Luck was being a lady for 3 nights.
Lady
No,
Luck
you ain't gonna stay out with
Jerry,
Lady Luck.
you don't
3 nights
think I
in a row.
was cheating with Lady Luck, do you?
He was at the casino for 3 nights and ain't come home.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Miss,
But did
don't
you
ask
call?
these women,
But
they
did
all
you
think
call?
alike.
Did you call and let her know that
Yeah,
you
she
were
didn't
at the
pick up.
And that's what he said. She was sick
mad.
of it.
Yeah,
Jerry,
but you
that
know
wasn't the
what?
first time
You
he
would
did
have
it.
changed a lot.
Jerry, that wasn't the first time he did it.
You
That's
would
why
have changed a lot.
I'd have bust your head probably to the white meat when you came through the
See
door.
why I'm single?
Right.
Why I'm single?
No, I would have had my
I'm just
hand. I
kidding.
would have had my
I'm
hand
just
out. Where
kidding.
the
I
money?
wouldn't.
Bitch,
Where the
you
money?
love
I
us
would've.
that much
But
that
I
we can't
probably
even
would've
go
told you to
on a
pack your stuff.
3-week rap.
No, I would have said, where the money? Give me the money.
Now they ain't built like the women in the 50s.
Yeah,
You know, granddaddy can have 2 families across town.
I'm gonna say
Your
this
mama
for
still
the
let 'em
record.
come
I'm
home.
gonna say this for the record. After that breakup, Poochie and I remain somewhat friends.
Yeah.
Right now, she's the chairman of SAP
He got a
committee.
question for you.
Have you noticed that Vanessa Ringo, his secretary, that was running around with him all this time, disappeared all of a sudden, not saying nothing no more?
Well, she was on the radio this morning, but Vanessa Pringle had got caught up in some stuff herself.
And that Pastor Holly
she
stuff.
had some problems herself, and so I ain't mad at people who get in and out of trouble.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I know this community.
Yeah.
I know who's who.
Yeah.
I know who ain't in this case doing a fantastic job.
Right.
And I don't like Vanessa Pringle and Clyde Edwards and them cloaking for this person.
Mm-hmm.
And so, guess who's on the ballot, Kevin? Neely.
Yeah.
Guess who
Yeah.
be lying and giving orders and covering up? Neely.
Yeah.
And guess who I done worked with for the past 3 years? Neely.
Yeah.
Guess who I worked with for 4 years before that? Weaver. And Weaver's administration.
Right.
I'm telling folk 100%, whether they listen or not, whether it affects anybody, between those two, I'm voting Weaver.
As you should.
And I'm asking people to vote Weaver. I'm asking for some relief in City Hall. Winfrey Carter, Councilwoman Winfrey Carter, I believe we should be dispersing these ARPA funds to those people who requested it, helping getting them in the community.
I have a question
We
as
gotta
it relates
fix
to
the
that.
budget deficit, and we gotta have a city hall that's honest, ain't fooling people, and telling the truth.
You're telling the truth.
I have a question. As it relates to that. So again, I know we talked about this before, but because the applications that you have, they're saying that that's not a thing, right? So with that being said,
I guarantee you it is.
so
Is it
can
a
people,
real piece of paper?
absolutely.
Do
So,
you really get it at the city council office? Is it really being looked at by Ernst & Young? Was it really
so
voted
that's what I was
on
getting
and
ready to say,
passed?
because I
It's
know
real.
Lonnie Ferguson came up and she said that they were doing, that was another one, they were doing a different one, whether it be online or an actual one.
You know what
So
you know what the politics of that is. Remember, if I don't do it,
Yeah,
I don't want nobody else to get credit.
absolutely.
If Neely had a came up with that simple one
This
page
college is
form,
pretty. Thank you.
if you ain't looking at each other's
I just
nails,
saw it. It was
look
pretty.
at my nails.
Yes,
But
they're
the
so
point
nice.
is, if Neely had a came up with that simple one page form
Mhm.
and got it voted and approved by city council, you wouldn't hear this.
Yeah.
But guess what? We came up with it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm asking.
They said in
Going
February
forward.
they would have had one at the end of the week.
Yeah.
I was president of the
They
council.
never-
Yeah, they
they
never
I
did.
was getting
Yeah,
too
they
many
never-
calls.
Absolutely.
I don't have
So-
to remember this in my head. We can create a form, and we did. And I
And you can
guarantee
go to, and you can go to 021422, right?
yeah, that's
and
the
look at the council meeting where they voted,
Valentine's Day,
right?
February
And
2nd.
they can vote, and they voted
And
again.
I can almost guarantee you, everybody who's turned in that real form, I'm gonna make sure they in the loop for any additional information.
Well,
Now,
that's what I'm
Well,
saying. Going
Ernest and-
forward,
this is
Ernest and
If
Young,
people-
they've already looked at some
Yeah.
of those.
no, I'm saying
forms
going
that-
forward, like if someone wants to fill out a form now, do they use that one that
they
you
can
still have?
still
They
use
can
that
still
form.
use
That was my question, because I
Yeah.
know there was some people that asked, and I said, I'll get some clarification, because I didn't know. If
Because
Yeah.
the form is good.
It's an
for-
initial
yeah,
form.
it's
Yeah.
an initial form. Just write up what you're trying to get, how much money you want. It's a good form.
Absolutely.
And we send that to the
To the
compliance firm,
firm.
and then they
Any
look at it because they've
Additional
already
info-
started looking at those
Yeah,
forms.
we've got a summary from Ernst and
Yeah.
Young on checking them forms.
Okay.
And so we still moving forward. Now, you know it's the truth because this is one of the quietest council persons on the council till you piss her off.
Absolutely.
You see how she just went through
I
and
know.
tell people
I
that.
know it.
And then if Eva worded them over there piss her off.
Oh, she really
So
did.
I don't have to say nothing.
No.
If you
Well, that was the reason why I wanted to ask you to, because there were some questions, and I know I don't speak on nothing I don't know nothing about, so I just need to
Yeah.
ask so the other people can know, because I
I
can
can
say
even
yes
pull
or
it
no.
up. Let me
No.
see. It was some organizations that turned in that form,
Yeah.
and the compliance.
United Way turned it
Yeah.
in for Bethel United Methodist Holy Temple.
Yeah,
They one
and
of
the
the first
compliance-
ones who didn't got money.
Okay.
And the compliance firm did look at these forms, whereas these organizations had turned in these forms, and they sent us a sheet,
A summary.
an
Okay.
Excel sheet,
Okay.
a summary
Now
of.
let me give you one figure off of that summary
Mhm.
from them forms. The people who turned in for
Let me see if
home
I can find
improvements, roofs, and windows, guess how much their money added up to
How much?
from them forms? It was 7.6 million.
Mm.
So you got 7.6 million from residents requesting money. Those forms are real.
Yeah.
They have been real.
Mhm.
You can still go to the third floor of
Mhm.
City Hall
Mhm.
and request them and fill it out. Don't let the train leave
There you go.
without you. Don't listen to the false information in life. Now I'm gonna show you how powerful this false information is lie is. The city council voted to approve the form.
They did.
It was Liddell Lewis, Quincy Murphy, Eva Worthing, Pfeiffer, Priestley, and Herkenroth. The 6 of them voted to approve that form and made amendments. Some of them wanted email address on there. You could attach another sheet. Quincy wanted the first ward or whatever ward it was on there. And you're right, you can see that vote in that discussion on February 14th. But then Neely got jealous of the form.
Mhm.
He called Quincy Murphy and them down to the office, and guess what they said the next day?
What they said.
This form ain't real.
Mm.
I say, now you fools, y'all just voted
Voted
on
for
it.
it.
It's a real form.
Yeah.
I say, now how can he be so powerful to convince you to say something ain't real that you just voted on? Liddell Lewis, she the professor, she the doctor. Guess what she said?
Hmm.
It's real, but we was just using it to get a feel for what people want. Well, hell, that's what the form
That's
is
what
supposed
the
to
form-
be used
yeah.
for. I said, no, we didn't look at it to be a real form. We just looked at it to get an idea from the people what they want. That's exactly
Well,
what
that's
it is.
what
It's a real
that's
form.
what those forms were in the wars were
But
for, to get a
that
feel
show-
what people were
Yeah,
wanting.
but that show you how stupid folks
Sure,
is
right.
when they get called down
You
to
right.
the mayor's office. Now he jealous because we created a form and then convinced the ones who voted for it to come back and say it wasn't a
Yeah.
real form. It's
Yeah.
a real form. I encourage people to fill it out. Don't let
Well,
the
even the
79
compliance
million go
firm-
away.
The compliance firm said to you that that's a good form to use,
That's
a
what they
good
told
initial
me.
form to
They
use.
told me that behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Ernst and Young, they said, look, I don't know what the big to-do is about. We checking them, we looking at them. It's a good initial form.
Yeah.
And so your question, you done sparked me and Winfrey Carter and others up.
Absolutely.
Ain't nobody fooling you. It's a real form.
Absolutely.
You can still fill it out, turn it in, and we're going to get this disbursement of money. This money is on the ballot.
Yeah.
If you want the money to continue to sit there, vote neither. If you want the money to be dispersed, I've already met with Mayor Weaver.
Yeah.
We've already discussed it.
Mhm.
If you want the money to be dispersed, vote Weaver.
Yeah.
This money will be dispersed. There's over
That
300-400
money
people
been
that put
sitting
in
there
for it.
since May of 21.
Characters on the ballot. Truth and honesty is on the ballot. Getting things done is on the ballot versus a statute and naming something after somebody. You know that's good.
Yeah.
I hope that they name something after me. What could they name after me? Maybe they could put an honorary Russell Street
They could.
that be Councilman Mays
Yeah.
Avenue.
Absolutely.
What maybe my council seat? They could put a plaque and say Councilman Mays.
Maybe they
seat.
can even they can name one of them rooms after you.
What room?
Any room down there.
In City Hall,
Absolutely.
Councilman Eric Mays' room.
Absolutely.
All of that's good.
Yeah.
But these people want this money released.
Yeah.
And my point is, getting stuff done is on the ballot.
Yeah.
Getting money released,
Mhm.
character, honesty, and truth. So I'm asking people, join in.
Absolutely.
This ain't no campaign we just doing.
That's right.
Everybody can help get one or two people to the polls. Weaver, and more Weaver. Hey, let's make this thing blow up. I would be in tears if we can pull this thing off right.
Mhm.
I'm a firm believer that honesty, truth, and right should prevail over wrong.
That's right. Councilwoman Carter,
Yes, ma'am.
we need your input. Go for it.
Hey,
She got
Oh,
she got master's degree.
Yeah.
I just got a bachelor's
Yeah.
degree.
Yeah.
Me and Neely just got bachelor's. She
No.
got a master's.
now wait a minute. Does Neely have a bachelor's
That's
degree?
what I thought.
No.
Well, that's what
No.
it was
Yeah.
said.
You got a master's.
I have an EDS.
Do we need to
I have an
check you out?
educational
Do we
specialist.
need to
degree.
check you
Kevin
out?
Tate said,
No.
Kevin Tate just said Neely got a wish.com bachelor's degree.
Oh, you
Why
can
would
check
you
all my
lie
stuff.
about a
Huh?
degree?
I'll give you all the names of the universities I've attended.
Go for it.
We're
How
gonna
is that
check it
now?
out.
Oh, check
Oh,
it
we
out.
gonna check it
Check
out.
it out. It's right there. They'll let you know. Jerry got this,
Uh-huh.
and this.
Yeah, tell us.
Okay.
Put that on your resume, a staff person.
No, I put it on my resume.
You ain't had no staff person.
I've never had a staff.
When did y'all start getting staff people? Because that came out when he was a council person. When did council people start having staff? Because if so, I need an application because I want to be hired.
You tell one.
You want to be
lie,
my
gotta
staff
tell-
person?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Where
We
are
need
you
an
right now?
application.
Right.
Come on, right here. Let me know. Come on, because I'm trying to get
You
on the
can be
staff.
my staff
I
person.
need to be on the
I need
staff.
a staff
I
person.
got
How you take her for your staff person? I wanted her for my staff person.
Well, you,
But the point is, he's never had a staff person
On the council.
council level. Okay?
Maybe he meant a staff person when he was in the House of, the state rep.
As a state rep.
Yeah, that would
But
have been
still,
Clyde
But still, as
or Candace.
as a candidate, you should always go back and check your information.
Man,
That's
he
right.
knew that was on there.
Yeah,
all
he
these
knew it was
years.
on there.
He's been out here for 10 years plus.
He knew
Yeah.
that. That's just
I bet
another.
you he used that with ABC 12. I bet you don't get a job back.
But who busted him out? CNN and Fox.
And Fox News, yeah.
And they embarrassed the governor. The headline said, Governor Whitmer endorses the mayor of the city of Flint who lies about his degree.
Yeah.
And then Governor Whitmer started getting scared to be around.
Yeah.
I'm saying to myself, now he done embarrassed the governor.
Right.
Yeah. Derek Smart said Russell Street should be named after Eric.
Hey, see, Derek Smart, that's why he's smart. What would we call it?
He said Eric Mays Street. What's
Councilman
Eric
Mays
Street.
Avenue.
There you go. Amazing
You
Mays
gotta
Avenue.
put Councilman on
Councilman Amazing
there. I
Mays
got an
Avenue.
honorary street.
There you
I
go.
think they need to go on an agenda.
Yeah.
They give me honor.
Trevor said I was so proud of the Councilwoman Carter last night.
Oh, okay, Trevor.
But now-
Thank you.
Now, Derek Smart, Kevin Tay, and Trevor, we got some unfinished business to do first before we get to that Councilman Mays Avenue. The Dayton family stuff for Dayton Avenue has been laying there.
Derek said, I'll go ham. Winfrey Carter will
Yeah,
go ham.
yeah, he did.
And so what we got to do first, before we get to the Councilman Mays Avenue, we got to go back and deal with Ira Dorsey and the Dayton family street, honorary street for Dayton, because it was voted upon and did before the Clarissa Shields, yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So
And
how come
Neely
that
did
didn't?
it.
How come that didn't?
Because
go through?
Neely playing politics with Clarissa Shields. And I want everybody to
Oh,
know.
he played politics from the beginning because let me tell you something.
Tell us.
We got into it,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't care who you are.
Yeah,
Right is right and wrong is wrong.
that's right.
So when he first got in, he held back some contracts that the council had already voted on for the what is it, the CBDG grants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Remember?
the community block.
Yeah, the
Right.
community block grant. Council had already voted on this, and it passed. So these contracts were supposed to be distributed
To
to the different
recipients,
recipients, the different organizations.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he held back some of the contracts for these organizations.
Particularly if they were Weaver friends.
Right,
Mm.
like McCree Theater
Big
and
Brothers,
Big Brothers,
Sisters.
Big
Yeah.
Sisters,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Whereas at that time, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Rita Stanley, she was the executive
Executive.
And
director.
he
Mhm.
did them
And Charles
like
Winfrey from McCree Theater.
he did them like
Now-
he did W.T. Stevens.
Right, right. Because
Squeeze
they
them out.
supported Weaver.
Yeah.
Okay, now come on now. You're the mayor for the whole city,
The entire city.
the entire city.
Yeah.
Why are you acting like this?
Well,
Why?
people
Why
don't
would
know
you
that
do that?
about his character.
That's right.
And so that's why character's on the ballot. If you win mayor, or if you win mayor, the stuff that had already been voted on and passed, these legitimate legal agreements, you carry it out, then you start doing your stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't be vindictive
And squeeze
and
it out.
hold up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
So character
Yeah,
is
it's
on the
wrong.
ballot. Is
Yeah.
on the ballot.
Absolutely, it is.
Look, I'm just saying this. We need help.
Yeah.
Right is right and wrong is wrong.
That's right.
The only people
Okay.
can help you in this arena is the voters.
The voters,
Yeah.
the city.
And I'm telling
Y'all got to come out. Y'all got to get
people,
out. And
you
vote.
got to get out. You got to vote. This has been 3 years of
Who
hell.
should we listen to?
It's life
in the
or death
Fifth
at this
Ward?
point.
Who should we listen to in the Fifth Ward?
In Fifth
Jerry
Ward?
Winfrey or Juan Wednesday?
Definitely Jerry Winfrey.
How you gonna say definitely?
Because I'm not voting for no basket cases, and I don't want to discuss
Who
it.
brought Leah to Flint?
Hell, I did. If you, shit, I guess I can say I did. I said at the table and did it. I don't fucking know. Shit,
Man, look,
I
I
guess
know.
did I bring Lear to
I did. Hey, I feel like that scene on Life. I the Pappy. I done baby's Pappy. That's how this is going.
Man, I'm unbelievable the stuff that I see and hear sitting in my city council
I'm
seat.
telling you.
Ira Dorsey, before I go with Councilman May,
Shout out to Ira Dorsey.
I'm
That's
gonna
my
try
guy.
to get that unfinished business did with Dayton
Election night, if
family.
they concert with 'em.
and that honorary street on Dayton. It was the first one we voted on.
And that's the one, and we definitely should have that.
They deserve it. I
They
think
do
what did
deserve it.
Ira got an Emmy.
They got an Emmy.
Yeah, that's
Boy
big
said
time.
the 112 is live now.
Yeah, I bet he is.
Ron Twelve, if you live and listening, explain to me how you brought. No, that'd be a long.
No.
One way they take more than one person to bring Leah to the city of Flint.
Listen,
And so that's not good to say because I was there. I know all of the players and the involvement in Leah coming to Flint. I disagree with you that Neely is the right person to vote for. I'm supporting Weaver. I know things go back and forth. I respect you. You're a former council person. I can't let you beat up on my current council person, Winfrey Carter. And God bless you. God bless me. God bless us all. But we've got some huge, respectful disagreements.
Yeah, Trevor Berryhill said, I'll stand for you, Mr. Mays. I'll make a pot of coffee every hour.
All right. So I'm starting to get staff people.
Trevor also said he already voted, Mr. Mays. My business is done until Doc Weaver is in office.
God bless you.
That's right.
I got to vote. I got to catch up with y'all. I will vote. I'm going to vote.
Yeah,
Y'all know Trevor Berryhill?
Yes, I do.
Do
That's
I
my
know
friend.
Trevor Berryhill?
Yes, you do.
Do
Yeah,
I?
yeah.
He's
So
in
you
our
remember-
ward. He's in the
Remember
fifth ward.
when we were going out doing the state rep race and I came and I met you at the store?
Oh, I
That's
know
Trevor.
who you're talking
That's Trevor.
about.
That's
Right.
As a matter of fact, that's that same day that fire happened with those two
And
babies because we was
stood
outside. We
there
were
and
over
looked
there.
Over there.
We absolutely
I
were
know.
there.
You see, I don't put on. If I don't know who's
Yeah.
who or what's what,
No.
I'm gonna
I
ask
got
who's
you.
who or what's what.
Yep, but you know who he is because you
I
and him
do
had very
I
long,
do
extensive
He
conversation.
would be a very good step.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish he
Oh,
lived in the
yeah.
fourth ward so he could take his auntie's spot because that priestly child. Listen,
That's
What
his
I
auntie.
say,
it's his auntie
What-
by marriage. It's his wife's aunt.
Okay.
what I say too.
What?
Man.
When we first was getting him out there and I called Jerry, she's like, I don't know. I said, listen, it's okay. It's all right.
Well, he was
But-
running on the Republican
Absolutely.
side. I didn't think
Absolutely.
he had a chance.
Well, and
Not in this arena.
absolutely.
Flint is strong
Absolutely.
Democrat.
It
Absolutely.
It
is.
is a
It is.
UAW, still strong Democratic town. Ask Maurice Davis.
Yeah.
You can commit political suicide in some cases
Yeah.
trying to articulate
Yeah.
them Republican views. That's why Priestley and them get mad when I say Priestley sits on the Republican Genesee County Executive Board. It's true. Piper and them, Republicans, Quincy Murphy and Liddell done put Republicans on the leadership of the council. Now, you got good white folks,
Yeah.
you got good black folks.
Mm-hmm.
You got some ignorant black folks and some ignorant white folks. You got moderate Democrats, you got moderate Republicans. But the point is this, Liddell and Quincy need to be punished. They repeating the history of Maurice Davis and Kate Fields.
Yeah.
Here they done put the Republicans in control of this majority black Democratic city.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about Pfeiffer, Herkenrode, and Priestley, it's like it ain't one of them forgive them for they know not what they do.
Right.
Quincy and Liddell should be politically punished for what they've done to some of us on that council as they snub their nose at strong black Democrats
Yeah.
and then jump ships. Now, are they undercover Republican blacks? I don't know.
Could be.
All I know that they've discombobulated and embarrassed us as a
Embarrassed.
strong Democratic
Embarrassed.
And you gotta look
So
at
bad.
what's going on
Yeah.
over the United States.
Mhm.
The Republicans are trying to take over.
They are.
They want it all.
They are putting people in place.
They putting them in place.
We got one. Allie Hogan wrote it.
Yeah,
They
are
You
putting them
can't tell
in
me she was
place.
placed there. She wasn't placed
and
there.
Priestley.
But you can't tell me she wasn't placed there.
Only by Quincy Murphy and Liddell
I'm
Lewis.
telling you.
Yeah,
can't tell me she wasn't
and
placed
they're
there.
strategically placing
Absolutely.
people, and we better wake up.
Mickey, you didn't know
We
we
better
looked
wake
at
up.
stuff like that politically, did you?
No, I did. I looked at it.
And Quincy Murphy and Liddell Lewis ought to be ashamed of themselves as it relates to the black community.
But no, it's the blacks that back them ought to be ashamed. See, don't just think
Why?
it's just them, but it's blacks that help them get in there to
It's
support that
blacks that
nonsense.
helped them, but they didn't know.
No, it's some still
Remember.
do know.
Well, some might know what we telling them, but now remember, Liddell Lewis and Quincy Murphy and Herkenroder had that illegal literature sent out
Yeah.
2-3 weeks before the
Yeah.
election. And when
Yeah.
we tracked it, it was Neely and them sending it out on their
Mhm.
behalf. Here we in elections, Mickey.
Yes, sir.
We scrapping pennies, nickels, and dimes to try to get a piece of literature
Right.
and some yard signs.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden,
All of a
out of
sudden.
nowhere, illegal literature in people's mailbox
Oh, yeah.
for Quincy, Liddell, Herkenroder.
I got 5 pieces sent to my house from my opponent, Joe Chicago.
Rapani.
Mm.
So
I mean, I'm talking about elaborate pieces
Yeah.
of mail.
I seen them.
it
They
was
was.
illegal.
They was.
You should have put mines against him.
It was Sadiddy, wasn't it? I said, woo.
And
I
then,
felt bad.
and then
And I know how much it cost me to send
Yeah.
out, mail out my piece of
And then
literature
they
to everybody
won.
in the Fifth Ward.
they won by 50 and 75 votes. I know Monica Galloway was hurt when Herkenroder beat
When
her
I
by
tell
about
you
75.
that cost
Well,
me,
you know
Quincy
what?
beat
Probably.
Dumas.
Let me say this. I am so, that hurt me. Yeah,
It
I'm gonna
hurt
tell you,
me.
it hurt me when Monica didn't win, but it hurt me even more that she didn't get out there like she was supposed to. I think she was a little too confident that she may have had it in the bag because she was there.
I
And
think,
I don't
I
think,
think the people was in shock. Dumas had won the primary. The
Yeah.
illegal literature affected him. What's her name? Monica Galloway was looking for victory. It affected her. Liddell Lewis, Audrey Mohammed. When that literature hit,
because Monica
And
only
they-
lost by how many votes? It wasn't.
75
Yeah.
or so. And they still paying back that paper.
well, I know
That's
that,
why
but there were a
Quincy
lot
and
of people
Liddell
on the
them
south
have
side
to
that said
pay
that you see her
attention
out
to
there
Neely.
campaigning. She wasn't out there campaigning. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
but-
saying.
but-
I'm a little
But
Illegal,
I'ma tell you
illegal
something.
But that
activity
illegal-
is
but that
wrong,
illegal-
Satara.
No, I was just gonna say, but I know that illegal literature is a huge factor.
What if you had illegal yard signs?
Absolutely, we do.
What
We
if
know
you
about
had
it.
illegal commercials?
Well, it
We
didn't.
do.
It
We
didn't.
know about
It
it.
didn't.
And you ain't gonna find none of that on their campaign contribution
Nope.
statement.
I
You
went
ain't
to
gonna see.
every last one of their campaign contributions, and it's not on there.
And when
It's
we
not on
tracked where it came from, according to my sources, a printer in Detroit, same place Neely's stuff come from. This guy sat back and manipulated council races. Quincy Murphy Owen, Liddell Lewis Owen, Herkenroder
Mhm.
Owen. And so that's why we got problems now. These folks can't even vote
Mhm.
right from wrong. They got to check in. And so now they checking in, trying to use their illegal game council
Yeah.
seats to try to help push him through. I got to believe right gonna prevail over wrong. Now, can you imagine what's happening? Gleason, the crook, helped Neely win with his,
Didn't he call you a crook?
yeah, and now he gone.
Guarantee Gleason that told I Neely.
Oh, Neely, you ain't got to tell on him. It's a video.
It's a video.
All you got to do is look at him using his office with that black lady sitting there 2-3 weeks before the election. That's how Neely and Gleason beat Weaver with 2 weeks left, 100, 200 votes.
Yeah.
Then Neely took his money from Lansing and the PACs and all that almost cuts, and then helped Quincy, Liddell, and Herkenroder and them win mailing out illegal literature. You beat that illegal literature.
Yeah.
that illegal literature came in your area for your opponent, you beat him. Some of us were strong enough to beat it, but in the close races, it affected the outcome. Now you got these fools on council like they really won, talking like they really won and helping Neely. We got to fix it. Tuesday is an important day.
People in 7th Ward don't even know.
And I'm gonna tell you
Tuesday,
something
fix
else.
it, vote.
Y'all
We
better
will
look
get
at
this
them
man
people
out
on
of here.
that school board.
You better say it.
Cause it was
Oh
one
my
of them,
God.
one person on that school board was over there walking around with Herkenroder.
Yeah.
Okay?
Turkey wrote a trip. Why she be trying to always throw me out a little deal? Be get him, throw him out. Root him out. Give him his first one. What's wrong with Herkin Road?
I got a couple 5 minutes left.
They were sent to do that.
I know they was, Kevin Tay. They was sent and they concentrating too much on me and not the city business, and it's rebuilding. People are seeing it. They
All right. Well, we are going to close out.
You gonna say the benediction?
Councilman Mays, I'm
May
gonna
the
let you.
Lord watch.
I'm gonna let
Between me
Let me
and
have
me.
you give your final words, and then we're gonna go to Miss Jerry with the guy.
Do all you can between now and Tuesday
Yeah.
to get Weaver in office. I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna help 1, 2, 3, 4 people.
There you go.
It's gonna add up.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if the Lord will bless us with a victory.
Mhm.
I want people to vote Weaver, more Weaver, and I can guarantee you, we can get some stuff done. And I'm gonna continue to tell the truth, be honest, and hope I go to heaven.
There you go.
That's what's most important. The
Absolutely.
hell with all y'all stuff here on earth. Let me go to heaven.
All
Kevin
right.
Tay, you got something to say? Some closing words?
I just need everybody to get out there and vote. You know, we 18 and up. Let's get to it. We got a job to do. You know, once the success is done, we got something special for everybody in the city.
All right.
And we need y'all out there. You know, we need everybody out there. 18 and up. As long as you got an ID, go vote.
There you go.
Register online. Go to DHS or wherever you got. You got a bridge car, go register. It takes 2 seconds to go register.
That's
we need
right.
y'all votes.
All right.
Vote Weaver.
Roll Weaver. And don't exit in. Make sure you circle it in real dark.
And I'm gonna put it out there like Harold Melvin and the Blue
You
Notes
better
said.
go ahead. You gonna
Wake
sing
up, everybody.
You better
Wake
sing it.
up,
That's
Sleeping in
everybody.
bed.
No more sleeping in bed.
Right.
Okay.
No more backwards thinking.
We want Weaver. Weaver.
That's right.
November 8th.
That's right.
Your vote is your voice.
That's right.
Go out
Right.
and vote.
Well, I'm just gonna piggyback on them, and I'm gonna say that you make sure that you get out and vote. Tell a friend to tell a friend to take a friend to take a friend, and y'all pick up 2 or 3 people, and everybody go out and vote. If you have made the wrong decision after hearing all of these things, and you want to go and you change your ballot, you make sure that you do that. You heard that from Amazing Maze, that you can go and you can spoil your ballot and change it and vote Weaver. Vote Weaver. We need you all out there, and as Kevin Tay said, we need you young people to get out and vote. So all of you grandmas and grandpas and mothers and fathers and aunties and uncles, make sure that you get these children, if they are 18 and older, and encourage them and make sure, take them to vote. Take them to vote. Everybody needs to take somebody. Everybody needs to tell somebody. This is important. Right now, this is literally life or death. This, and like she said, this is your voice. This is your
Some
voice.
life and death issues.
It's some life and death issues. And like AC Dumas said, take your soul to the polls. And what I'm saying, take your soul, your ass, everything. Go out there and make sure that you vote. We need to turn this city around, and we can only do it if we stand together and we do the right things. Vote for the right things. Vote for integrity. Vote for character. Vote for the heart of the city. Vote for someone who is going to have your back and going to do the right things for the city. Don't listen to all of the foolishness. Make sure that you are doing everything that you can to get. You heard that? I said it again. I said it again. I said what I said. I said what I said. Now y'all get out there and y'all vote. Mickey, you got anything to say?
What can I say this?
Go for it.
May the Lord watch.
Between me and thee.
One from
while
another.
we absent, one from another. Hey, we love y'all. Hey, I got something special for y'all tomorrow too. So tune in again tomorrow. So tomorrow I got something even more special. It was kind of something that he was talking about. So I need y'all to tune in with me tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, about 3-ish, 4-ish. I need y'all all to tune in. So tell a friend and tune in tomorrow too. All right.
What's popping?